So I'm with Jeff Marsico, the newly named but longtime senior person at the Kafafian Group. He's now the president, which I congratulate you for, Jeff. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I was interested in talking to Jeff again because he has a unique perspective on what's going on in community banks of all sizes, and writes frequently. I'm a big fan of Jeff for Banks, which if you're not familiar with it, you ought to check it out. Jeff provides lots of different looks at what's going on in the banking industry. But one of the things that he'd written before Christmas, I think it was before Christmas, was the wish list for branch managers.
Yeah.
And I thought it's a great article. We'll have a link to that so you can take a look at it. But Jeff, the branch managers that I deal with are often people that today are being asked to be more involved in the small business arena. And you had some, I think, some very smart advice for bank management as you put this bank wish list together. But what are some of the things that you think are really important for branch managers to be successful?
Yeah. So first, a little context there. I actually was a branch manager. It was 25 years ago, so it was quite a number of years ago. I don't want to say I was recent, but I remember one time, and I was a hunter. I really disliked doing operational duties. You could talk to my regional manager, who's now the head of retail of a Pennsylvania bank, but
who would confirm you weren't really very good at operational duties.
I wasn't really good at operational duties. I would ignore them and things like that. But I like to go out and hunt for business. And one time I talked to a car wash operator that wanted to expand the number of bays at their thing. And that required, I don't know, maybe 1990s, maybe a $200,000 loan of some sort, not very big. So we, as a branch, had a commercial lender assigned to us, and his reaction to me calling up was, "Don't call me with this crap." I am quoting because I remember it 25 years later. "Don't call me with this crap." Well, that's the crap that's very valuable. And now that many community banks want the branch banker themselves to do, which I think is the right move, but they really haven't developed or put the tools in the toolbox or evolved their thinking of what they expect of a branch manager in how they select them, and how they hold them accountable, and in how they develop them. And that's what the list came out of, is there's a mismatch between what a bank expects of their branch managers and the capabilities of their branch managers, or how the bank has developed those branch managers. And that's where the list came out of.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of them was just an absolute clarity of what you want that branch banker to do, right? So you can't be sending all these mixed signals that, like when I was there, I'd get a call if I didn't, balance the ATM on a Tuesday or whatever the day was. But if what you want me primarily to do is grow core deposits by way of small business banking, well, you should make sure I was absolutely clear and don't be sending me mixed messages. Teach me how to actually supervise branch personnel, that they are empowered to reconcile branch capture and not get me involved in that process. Because I'm responsible for growing the core deposits of the bank. So one of them was, be clear on what you expect of your branch managers, and then hold them accountable. You probably know from knowing me, Ned, that I'm a big fan of holding center level managers responsible for their P&L, their profit and loss statement, not their outstanding balances or net new accounts or accounts per customer. That's what led to the Wells Fargo cultural disconnect right there. That if you just held the branch manager responsible for their P&L, their consistent profit improvement of their branch, they're going to take the right actions, particularly if you give them the guardrails of what you expect of them. And then let them do it. How many times do regional managers or operations people, call to question a waived fee for a customer, or somebody who you put on perpetual fee waivers or something like that? Empower the branch manager to be able to make those across the desk decisions
Yeah.
or over the phone line decisions on behalf of the customer, because they're responsible for their own P&L, right? They know that if I put this person on perpetual fee waive, I'm going to lose that revenue. It's going to be out of my fee income.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but their average balance is 3 times more than the average balance of the small business. Yeah. So I'm willing to accept that fee waiver because I'm getting a greater amount of spread through there. Empower them, right? And then the one that always kills me, and I don't know, you deal with frontline people a lot because that's your business, support. A lot of times there's some support center managers that can be quite tart in their communications with branch people because they didn't check a particular box on a form or something like that. And it's just a disconnect between who makes money for the bank, which are the customers, and who serves the customers, which, you should have that empathy for the person who sits across that desk from the customers. And then the operations, we do process improvement reviews at banks, and sometimes we actually recommend that branches take some operational duties just because of that slack time that tends to ebb and flow. But I'm not suggesting that the branch manager has to execute on that. Right. There are operations persons that do work in the branches. We should be honest with ourselves, they're doing it. But if the branch manager's responsibility is to grow small business deposits, let's make sure that that person has plenty of bandwidth to be able to do that and isn't saddled counting vault cash. And then the last one is the development plans. And I know you're involved in the development that so many development plans at banks are focused on compliance and operations, but it's not focused on small business cash flow management or, how our system can handle small ticket commercial loans, which, back to that car wash, analogy, it would have been nice if there was a small business lending system, an automated small business decisioning system that branch manager would have been proficient at using and knowing what could get through that pipeline based on financials. So develop the branch manager to do what you expect of them, what you did in your clarity of expectations. I think that banks underutilize the branch as a distribution channel. They use it more as a transaction center, and we have been slow at the evolution into that touch point for prospects and to expand relationships into existing customers.
Well, I think you've nailed a lot of the key issues. I mean, clarity of communication, expectations, trying to give people the right kind of support, the right kind of tools. I am interested, in the career development aspect of it, and maybe the future of the branch manager, given all that we've learned over the last couple of years now, and the changes that are taking place as we speak in all size banks, but particularly in community banks. What do you see as the role of the branch manager going forward?
Yeah, I think they ought to think that the branch manager could ultimately be the breadwinner, that level of professional, that could be the breadwinner in their home, that this could be a career destination point rather than a waypoint for the up and comers, but it could be a destination point. Imagine we talked about the banker in my hometown, Bobby Enck.
Bobby Enck.
In my hometown, that guy owned the town of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, and it's that type of person we should keep in mind when deciding who is going to be the tip of the spear for our customers in different geographic locations. We should have that king or queen of the town in mind. Also, that branch banker could also be a launching point for your next level of commercial lenders. We've talked about developing commercial lenders from within. It doesn't just have to be from the credit analyst ranks. It could be from portfolio managers, credit analysts, branch managers, small business bankers. They could all be feeding pools for your more sophisticated, taking care of your more sophisticated commercial clients through commercial lending.
Yeah. It's almost back to the future, Jeff, back to the throwbacks, the Bobby Encks, who really were the kings and the queens of the marketplace, who owned the market. And those were the go-to people. Well, Jeff, this is fun. I appreciate your sharing your perspective. This is another Ned Talks that hopefully you will find some benefit in, but we'll have some links to Jeff's original wish list. And we hope that if any of these ideas are of interest to you, you'll pursue them with Jeff or with me. So have a great day, Jeff. Great to be with you.
Thanks, Ned.